company shit. But,
Word. I need to look for him on IG then.
Just let me know when to go live. We're good.
Yeah, we can. You ready, bro? Let's make it happen.
Shout out all your socials at the beginning of the show. Like, yo, go follow us on Instagram, Twitter, whatever.
For sure.
Yeah, we do a lot of that. Okay. Let's make sure Rodecaster Pro.
Rodecaster Pro, mobile podcasting studio.
Cool. All right, let's go. Check. Ladies and gents, you are now tuned into the Melodrama Podcast. I am one of your hosts. I go by the name of Speak Easy. I'm joined here by my brother Trip. Trip, what's good?
Man, what's poppin', man?
Chilling, man. So we are absent. We're without our big brother JG. We're set to record, and JG, he works in the trade, so basically he got a call. I was like, yo fam, I got a call, and I won't be able to make it. The funny shit is because like somebody's like heater or some shit, furnace went out.
Yeah.
And like Trip was like, they being some punk ass bitches.
Like
it's like 45 degrees.
47 degrees.
They can just thug it out. Let us record this podcast real quick, and then JG can be on his way. Like,
it's 47 degrees.
It's like,
dude, 3 more degrees and we wearing shorts in Wisconsin.
It's a fucking heat wave in Wisconsin. So I'm like, what? Your heater went out? Like, I don't know.
I'm trying to open the windows.
I don't know. Maybe that's a repeat customer who's lying about her heater being out.
Hey, maybe he went to the club again.
Right. He's like sitting at home, like, sunglasses and Advil. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But shout outs to the brother JG, man. You are with us in spirit, so we will hold it down for you. This podcast is sponsored by none other than Freshly Broken, Unified Records. You know what it is. Also, Rodecaster Pro, mobile podcasting station. So, pretty much what it is like we are looking to just do more innovative things as podcasts. So you're going to see us out and about. And when you do, you're going to see us with our Rodecaster Pro setup. You're going to see us out here doing our thing. You're going to see our mic picking us up in all directions. You know what I'm saying? We're just blazing trails and doing what we do as far as a podcasting team goes. So that's what it is. So let's get to the shits. Well, before we do that, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. It's like my only day off. It's not a day off. Gotta go wash clothes when I leave here.
Word.
Yesterday was wrestling again with the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Another tournament. I pulled him now. I pulled him at his last match.
Okay.
Yeah, slammed like some kind of weird way.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, maybe it's just me being a cautious dad or whatever, because it was like the rib area.
Sure.
So I just took him in to get checked out.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a tournament that was gonna like make any big decisions on like, where he ends up at the end of the season or whatever.
Yeah.
Plus they got the conference tournament this Friday, so that's more important than where we were. But him, he wanted to keep going.
Yeah.
He's gonna tough it out, thug it out, so I had to make him leave.
Yeah.
But explain to him, winning is important, but it's not that important. And, I had to remind them, like, we got insurance for this purpose. So, you get checked out, make sure everything good, and I told him, like, it could be something, could be nothing, but it's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up, man. I think I'm doing pretty good, bro. I think,
I ain't asked.
I'm going to tell you anyway, motherfucker. So, we, I don't know, a lot of different shit going on. We're getting like our master bathroom redone, and it's just been like a complete interesting experience because like, I mean, I come from where I come from, you don't just leave nobody in your house.
No.
But like the way this shit works, the contractor has to be there to get this shit done. So like this was a growing experience for me. Like I had to like grow to trust. Now we got a quote from this guy. He did some previous work, which led us to, connecting with him. We got a great referral. But yeah, dude, I had to like really, really get used to that shit.
So y'all like getting the whole bathroom done? You're not like getting like bath fitters or some shit?
No, it's everything.
Where they come in and slap some plastic shit
Nah,
over
man, we
shit?
got everything. Like he gutted that motherfucker, bro. Like, and we're starting like from scratch. Like he's like at this point now in the tile laying phase. But like it was interesting because I'm just like, yo, so like I'm like delaying my day when I go into the office. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And then we got like this.
I'm trying to watch them.
Yeah, then we got like this Nest thing where you can like see when the motherfucker comes to the house and shit. You know what I'm saying? And we have a dog, but our dog is like not your dog. That's the best way I can say that. So like
talking about my dog.
The dog ain't gonna dude, your dog lift weights. Like I went to Tripp's house, dude, to grab a hoodie, and I was like, I'm at the door, but I'm ready to run just in case. I'm too damn old to be running from a fucking dog, but I will run from your dog because I think your dog can at least bench 250. At least. Like, at least.
I don't think dogs bench press, but okay.
I think your dog does. Like, yeah, man. So that's been interesting. So I've been doing that. I wanted to share something though with you. When we did the how many podcasts ago was that? That was 2 podcasts ago when we did the subject does a black man have a role in society? I was going to post that clip, but I wanted to come back here and talk about it. And so since it's you and I'll talk about it with you. I talked with one of my friends and was like we got blasted. Like, oh, that answer was just superficial. Y'all didn't really get into the meat and potatoes of things. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about?
No, I didn't get blasted. You got blasted.
No, well, no. The whole consensus is like y'all didn't really do anything.
What did they say?
Y'all didn't really basically
Did they put it on the video?
No.
They said it to you?
Yeah.
You got blasted. We
are one. My nigga, we are a team. It's not speak in the melodramatics. It's not Gladys Knight in the Pips, nigga. Like this is a group.
You got blasted. They can't deal with that bullshit.
But it was very interesting. So what I did, I took this as an opportunity to as an opportunity to say, you know what? This is one of the problems in the black community because
did we get blasted by a girl or a man?
It was a female.
Yeah, that don't count.
So, but I use that as a teaching opportunity because I'm like, you know what? What happens is you can't put expectations on people and not pay attention to the actual work that's being done. So just because it's not happening how you envision it in your head doesn't mean that the work isn't being done. And like, I actually went back and I watched the, I always listen back to the podcast. And I went back and I listened to us, and I'm like, I definitely agree to disagree. I think we actually did a phenomenal job talking about the subject, handling it with respect, also having a little bit of laughs at the same time.
What did she want us to say?
I didn't bother asking that question.
You should ask her what she wanted. Matter of fact, have her call in.
Because the reason why, actually, so I'll extend that olive branch and that invitation because I think what it is that when I think about the black community and a lot of things of that sort, what happens is everybody has an idea what somebody should be doing, but all it is ideas about what people should be doing. And what we came and talked about, and the funny thing is listening to JG's portion of our topic as we went round robin, he was talking about he's a fixer. He was talking about doing the work, and we were talking about doing the work. So I think sometimes people get caught up in the glitz and glam of maybe what celebrities are doing or maybe what's promoted on in media and social media, but we live in reality. And I would definitely double down to say that you guys are 2 of the most respectful brothers that I know, and what you guys do and have done for the community is to be commended. That's real from all the different kids. Like, I mean, I remember the first time you and I were talking, and the first of your kids that you coached when they were kids was going to college.
Yeah.
The first time that happened, bro, like I remember talking and looking in your face, and you're like, holy shit. Like, I'm really like, this dude is in fucking college now, and he saw me and he was like, yo, because you instilled this in me when I was a kid, it helped me in my development, and now I'm going to I believe it was D1. I can't remember what division it was, but he was going to college, post-secondary education, which is a definite plus. On top of that, doing his passion, playing football. So
here's my thing, and this is why I might be coming across like super nonchalant about somebody feeling like we didn't answer the question up to their standard. I don't, and I'm not even going to apologize for what I'm about to say. I really don't give a fuck about what your standard of success is or what you believe the standard of success should be, because nobody can dictate what success is for anybody else. So if I feel like that is my role as a black man or a man or whatever it is in society that I play a role as, and I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do and I'm doing it successfully, it's not your place to tell me that I missed the point. That's not your place.
Yeah.
That's my role. That's where I fit in, and that's where I decided to have make an impact.
Yeah.
I'm not Superman. I never want to be Superman. I'm not going to try to save everybody or solve every problem. So if there's a problem that you feel like I'm not addressing, then maybe there's somebody else out there that's equipped or have the passion to address that problem.
I like that.
But it's not my job to fix everybody else's problem.
Word. Wow, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. So I appreciate that. So I'll extend the invitation. We'll see where that goes, and see where that leads us. So speaking of the first kid that you helped with and helped go to college and all of that. So we were talking in pre-production, and there's one particular topic that we want to say for the brother JG. And then we just started talking about like crazy speak and trip stories. If you've known us prior to the Melodrama podcast, you know that Trip and I go all the way back to like our freshman year in high school. Yeah. And we are officially like in our 40s now. So we have a long history together. So like I think this would be a very appropriate time to kind of run down some of those stories and kind of share with our listeners to see like when they first saw us on the hip hop scene, and when they see us now, like why are these guys so close and things of that sort? Because for the most part, like they're like, okay, these guys are brothers. Like, yeah. So like, we thought about just sharing some of those stories with you. So I'm gonna kick it off, and at the same time throw myself under the bus. So what happened was we were about, I don't know, somewhere between 17 and 19 at this time. We were hanging out. It was me, you, and our brother Shaw. May he rest in peace. We were hanging out, and we were all family. We go to Shaw's house. We're family. Yeah. We're just family. So like his mom talks to us like she talks to him. Like it just is what it is. So Shaw was hanging out with this girl, and we were kind of ready to go kick it. We're ready to go hang out. So pretty much it was like, all right, well, we gotta make sure this young lady gets home safely. So we were doing that. We're driving in Trip's whip, and we're driving down Capitol, and we're like, I don't know, motherfucking like, I don't know, 13th ish.
No, it was like, I think that was like 19, like 19th. Right after Atkinson.
Okay, yes, it was right after Atkinson. So we're driving down, and we're like dropping this young lady off, and then like on the corner, you can't tell because there's a bus stop, right? So Trip, he's obviously the best driver out of all of us. He's driving the whip, and we're pulling over to let this young lady out, and then all of a sudden this motherfucker from the bus stop emerges. He just emerges.
This is how we know your ass had already blacked out.
What do you mean?
He was not on the bus stop.
He wasn't?
No, her mama was on the bus stop. She got off the bus stop, stood in the middle of the street so he couldn't pull straight off. He came off the porch.
I never knew that there was somebody else there.
He was walking up to the car.
Phone.
That's why we was telling your ass to lock the door.
Oh my God. So, wait. It's like 20-something years later, you're just now telling me that there's somebody in the front of the car. I'm like, dude, just mash off. So,
you just want me to run the lady over? She's standing in front of the car.
Yo, we all got a decision to make in life, bro. Like, we all got a choice to make. So, okay, so from my perception and my purview, I see this dude emerging. He's walking to the car, and he looks like he's intending to do us harm. And like, Trip is yelling at me. Shaw is yelling at me. By this point, the young lady's out of the car. We did make sure she got to her destination safely, but her parents, I guess, felt otherwise. And I mean, maybe because it's like she got dropped off by 3 guys, but we were just He wasn't pushing the car. You were.
I was driving, but I think it went south before that because Mama Tina, when we was at Shaw House, Mama Tina came downstairs and said, "Get that young bitch out my house."
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh my God!
And I couldn't figure out why Mama Tina was mad because the girl told Shaw that she was leaving for school in a couple of weeks. It made sense to us
because we was
leaving for school in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Apparently, she wasn't. Wow. And that's why Mama Tina came downstairs, like, "Get that young bitch out of my house."
Wow. So it had already kind of bubbled over before we even hopped in the car.
Like, I don't know if her parents called Mama Tina house or, because, we still had landlines back then.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that shit happened, but Mama
landlines and pagers. Oh my God.
Oh my God. I beat you 911.
Yeah, dude. And then like when we thought we were high tech when we could like text words with numbers. Like, man, that was the shit. Like,
remember the big ass AT&T pager that you could actually send a real word text with? I don't remember how you did the shit, but
yeah. Actually, when I was a computer programmer, I had my work pager would include like the sports highlights. It would include the stock market and like different headlines from CNN. Like, yeah. So, okay. So back to the story. So now mom is in front of the car, so you can't pull off.
Right.
And dad is walking towards the car. So now looking back at it retrospectively, dad was still a bitch ass nigga because why you put your wife in front of the car, bro? Like, that's lame. Like,
I don't even really care. He was walking. I'm sure he was walking to your door.
He was walking. So yeah,
and you did not lock the door. So
he was walking to my door, and Trip,
he was gonna get you.
Trip and Shaw was like, "Lock the door, lock the door," and I'm like frozen. I'm frozen stiff. I can't move. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what are we talking about? Like, and then all of a sudden, like, somehow maybe mom moves out of the way, and then Trip just kind of like skirts. He skirts off, and like then we like bolt down Capitol, and maybe then I wake up. Like, then I come out of my. It was hilarious. Like, that was one of those stories, bro, where I was just like. We look back at that shit today and like we just laugh, especially, missing a brother Shaw, you know what I'm saying? Like just thinking about all the fun times that we had with him.
Man, we used to go bowling and dude used to fall on purpose.
Oh my gosh, dude. Like, yeah, like, and like for those, like we have pretty much had like our crew, it was like at least 4 or 5 of us. And like now just kind of dwindled down to 2 throughout the years. But like we had a whole crew, like we would go, what was that? Echo Bowl and Bayshore and shit like that, dude. Yeah. Like that was the shit, dude. So we would go there.
Fuck, was you? What is the time we tried to leave without paying?
No. Thank God, because I probably would have froze again.
Oh man, I think it's.
As you can see, I wasn't the toughest person in the crew. Like obviously,
it was like me, probably me, Harvell. It might have been Tito.
Okay.
And we went with Regina, Kiwani.
Yeah.
And a couple other people.
No, I was not there.
And Tito was like, fuck it, let's go.
Let's just bounce. Let's just go.
And Harvey was like, yeah, they're not even watching.
Oh my god.
So we ran out. No, we're in Glendale, like fucking suburbs of Milwaukee and shit.
Yeah.
So we just ran out. We hop in the car. We smash off. Dumbest shit is we just smashed off and went across the street to Denny's.
You just walked across the fucking street, bro. Like,
no, we drove.
I'm done. This has been the Melodrama Podcast.
But I guess like when we left, they made Regina them pay for our shit.
Wow.
Well, that's what they said. Like, I don't know if they really did or not.
Yeah, that's funny, dude. Another story that I share because we work with kids, right? So, like, when you work with kids, especially young adults, they swear up and down that they're like the toughest motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? They've done this, they've done that, they've been in the streets, all of this. And then, like, especially my previous jobs, like my current job, I can dress down. Like, I can rock t-shirt and fucking jeans and J's to work now, damn near 5 days a week. But like, there's a point in time where, we had to dress up a little bit more for work, and kids just assume. So, but when you start telling kids, like, no, like, I've been shot at, like, more than one time, they're like, what? You've been shot at? I'm like, yeah. So, like, there's one particular time, I lived furthest on the northwest side. So kind of how every time we hung out, I was either the first or the last person to get picked up because of where I lived. And this is before I had a car. So Trip came and scooped me. We're heading to Shaw's crib, actually, again. Like, that was our spot. So we're driving down. This is definitely like a local podcast. Like, this is a Midwest Milwaukee podcast. So like, we're driving down Sherman, right? And we're driving down Sherman towards like Ruby,
somewhere in there.
And basically, we have to make a left. It's between Ruby and Glendale, one of those streets, and we have to make a left to get to our homie's crib. And like, all we know is a car is coming from in front of us and from behind us, and we're like right in the middle in the fucking intersection. And then like, literally just start shooting. Like, they just fucking start shooting at each other. And like, if you go forward, you're in the gunfire. If you go behind, you're in the gunfire. So what we did, like, seriously, instantaneously, we looked at each other, reclined our seats. We reclined our seats and waited.
Damn.
As soon as the gunfire stopped, just mashed off. And then the funny thing is, we went to Shaw's crib and hung out like nothing fucking happened.
Because we was always getting in the middle of shootouts.
Like, it was just...
I just think the dumbest part is like, how they're that close
and
shooting.
Did nobody
got hit.
Did nobody get hit?
They didn't bust a window, not a tire.
They didn't bust a window, not a tire. They didn't bust a grate, bro. Like, they didn't bust a grate. Like, that was the craziest shit. So, like, I mean, and we are not here to promote or condone violence, but it's just one of those things, like, we're in it. We are not out here thugging. It was just crazy, and we just mashed off. But I think that was the second time.
I'm looking back, like, I think I probably shouldn't have been hanging with y'all, man. Like,
no, nigga,
y'all trying to take my damn life. The fuck?
You said y'all trying to take my life?
I went to a party with y'all. We got caught in the middle of a damn shootout. Motherfucker
held
a gun out the window and told us to duck.
We were just getting to this party. So it was a party. It was like, that was off Walnut.
We was at the Prince Hall.
Yeah, it was and I didn't know what Prince Hall meant then. I definitely know what it means now, but I didn't know what that meant. So we were going to the Prince Hall. We're going for a party, and this dude just looked at us and he was like, "Yo, y'all might want to duck." Like, what? He's like, "Duck," and then just start letting off, and I'm just like, dude.
Yeah, man.
And I think after that, we went into the party.
No, we was leaving the party. The party
Were
was
we
over.
leaving? Okay.
Yeah. That was a hot-ass party, though. It was hot as a bitch. But, man, I
don't remember anything about the party. I just remember that.
Because your ass always fell asleep, man.
Yeah, so, like, also, like, so it's really weird.
Fell asleep at parties, man. We go get this dude. We go hang out with girls. He fall asleep at the girls' house.
Yeah, I'm really not as cool. I've never been that cool ever. I'm not even gonna lie. I've always been the nerd with cool friends. So the aesthetic, as the kids say nowadays, I looked pretty cool. Not fucking cool.
The only time he didn't fall asleep was this was a long time ago, so Jay ain't gotta kill you. We went to the girls. I think they were strippers or something. And, but they wasn't working that night, and we left him in like Harville there because we had to go pick somebody else up. Me and Mike went to go pick somebody else up. That's the only time he didn't fall asleep. But when we got back, we was trying to get his clothes back. I don't know how. Like how they take your clothes and they was the strippers. Like
they had all of our clothes. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
They had y'all clothes. We came back.
Listen, we were talking
y'all was looking for y'all clothes, and we were
talking about climate change and pre-production. Shout out to the homie Clyde. Yo, as soon as y'all left, the fucking climate changed, bro. Like I don't know what happened. I don't know if they was like, look, they're gonna leave the smallest two niggas and it's finna go down. Yeah, we were without lots of clothing. I don't know why. But they was
the strippers.
I don't know. Maybe this was an empowerment thing for them. Maybe we helped them find their purpose. I'm just here for the people, bro. Like I'm just here for the people. But yeah, that was.
We used to try to lie about our names and shit.
Oh my god!
Right around meeting girls lying about our names.
So there's one friend that used to be in our group, right? And we were always kind of the motley crew. So you got me, you got Trip. Trip was always like, Trip had a car like when that nigga was 12. Like he was always driving.
That's because MPS wouldn't give me a bus. My mama got tired of having to take my ass to school.
So like, and then there was another guy with us as well, that he shall remain nameless. But like this dude, every time we go somewhere, he would always try to speak in a southern accent. And he would always try to tell girls that he was from Memphis, right? And like, and he stood out. He was tall, like 6'6". So like, I mean, the tallest dude out of our crew. You know, we were all rapping. We had a big rap group at that time. But yeah, so I don't even know what his fake name was, but I just know this nigga had a fake ass accent. He was always from Memphis. And the funny thing is, you weren't with us. I think at this time you were probably in school. So one time we're hanging out, same spiel. What's up, shawty? Yada, yada, yada. I'm from Memphis. You know what I'm saying? She was like, nigga, you just approached me like a week ago.
But that didn't just happen.
No, hold up. No, hold up. She was like, if you from Memphis, why the fuck are you always here? Because if your game can't be, I'm from Memphis, I'm in town for the weekend. Yada yada yada.
It was another weekend. But dude, that didn't happen to just him. Like shit, that shit happened to me. Like we went to the chick house on the east side. He knew her, and
oh my god, he was like, "Yo, I know
my guy."
her.
And I don't know what name I gave her. I think I told her my name was Lamont or some shit.
Yes.
And she was like, "No, nigga, your name's Steve. I know you."
Yes. He was like, "Nah, my name's."
Like this shit happened to everybody.
So, but we
used to lie and shit. We used to lie and shit and tell them we had a twin.
Yeah.
He was like, "No, that's my twin. My twin named Steve. I'm named Lamont. My twin named Mike. And my name Montaigne."
Yeah, dude.
You know, shit like,
dude, like it was just the wildest shit, dude. Like, I mean, but that particular time, we got to the crib. We didn't know the house, but once we got in and she laid eyes on you, she knew what was up. Like, she's like, "Yeah, your name is not Lamont, bro. Like, your name is." See, I never gave a fake. Again, I'm not the cool one. I never gave a fake name. I didn't really have any girlfriends, I guess. Wow.
I ain't gonna say.
Moment of silence.
That's a fucking lie.
For me not having
That's
any
a
girlfriends.
Lie.
No, I never had a girlfriend.
That's
I don't know what you're talking
lie.
about. I never had. I didn't have a girlfriend until I was like
dropped
20.
you off at her house all the time, except for the one you caught the bus and the crackhead tried to take you down on the bus stop.
You know what? I'm just gonna have a sip of my coffee.
Oh, you don't want to tell that story? She pulled her titty out on you?
Yo, so I'm dating this girl, right? And she lived in the hood, bro. And I didn't realize how sheltered my grandma like sheltered me. So like, I'm catching a bus. I'm hanging out with my girl. It's a good day. Anytime, you're young and you're engaging in, young activities, like that's great. So I'm like, yo, I'm on cloud nine. I'm heading to the crib. She lived like where the current Master Lock is. I don't know. What the fuck is that? Burleigh, bro? I don't know.
Center
Street, Milwaukee. So like it's in the hood. So you have to take the Center Street bus west until you get to like Sherman, and then from Sherman I gotta head to the Midwest. So I'm leaving my girl's crib and I'm geeked, like I'm on cloud nine, and this lady approaches me and she's like, first I thought she was just nice. Oh, that's nice. She's nice. That's cool. I'm so fucking naive. And then she starts talking to me. And
dude,
then
mind you, like we teenagers in the 90s.
I'm like at this point, I'm
like
18. I'm not even 19 yet.
This is like the whole fucking. This is still like the big part of the like crack epidemic.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not know that at like midnight on like fucking Center that's not a fucking crackhead?
How was I supposed to know? So was I supposed to be like, ma'am, you wouldn't happen to be instead of Grey Poupon, you wouldn't happen to be a crackhead, would you? Like, what? So I'm talking and I'm just like, whatever. And then like, out of the blue, dude, she just lifts her shirt, bro. She lifts her shirt. And I swear, maybe it took therapy. Her nipples were like this long. I was like, what the fuck is this, bro? Like, what is going on? I'm scarred. She offered. I can't finish my sentence. I'm like, yo, and like when the bus finally came, I was like, praise Jesus and his dad. like, dude. So like, I sat like, usually like back in the days at that point, like, even though our people fought so hard, it was some reason like it became cool to sit in the back of the bus.
Yeah,
that's like an oxymoron. But anyway, so like, and it's Black History Month. That's fucked up. so like, I sat like, dude, like front 4 rows, bro. Like I sat all the way in the front. I was just
the front seats on the bus is like handicap seats.
Yeah, I was so scarred, dude. I'm scarred. I'm like clutching my pearls. I'm like. And I felt weird when I told them this. When I told Trip them the story, they was like, "Bro, like what? That was a crackhead. She was trying to like get you to pay her for sex so she can buy more crack." I was like, "What?" Yeah, dude, it was wild.
Dude, Speak is. I don't know. Y'all think he's cool and shit. Like Speak.
I'm not cool.
Always been like green as fuck. Like,
I'm not cool. Like when I'm really naive. Like when I say like I don't have no game, I really don't. When I say I'm really naive, I really am.
He's not telling y'all like all the stories of like shit he did though. He's telling y'all like stories about shit we did. Like
what did I? Okay, talk to me. Talk to me.
So all these times we're driving in cars, it's not always my fucking car.
Okay.
This motherfucker bought a car and couldn't drive.
Yes, that is facts.
Like this motherfucker went out and spent like a little, almost close to like 2 G's.
Yeah.
On a Toyota Camry and couldn't drive. I
couldn't drive, bro. I bought a car. I couldn't drive. My oldest daughter just sent me that picture.
I took him to his auntie house to buy the car.
Yeah, shout out to Auntie Pam. Love you.
And somebody had to drop the car off.
Yeah.
I don't know if Auntie Pam dropped it off or if we had to take Tisha back out there to get it. Because his sister could drive.
Yes,
his little sister could drive.
My sister got her license like ASAP. Like when she hit 16, I was like 19. I still didn't have my license because I was like, yo, I'm finna be a baller. Like, listen, when I'm in the NBA, I won't need a license. I'll have a fucking driver. What I need a license for? Like, I'm gonna have a fucking driver in this bitch. Like, so I bought a car.
So a lot of times I was driving my car and parking it at his granddad's house so we can drive his car.
Yep. Or you would drop Tito off, and then I would be riding with Tito, and we'd be driving 2 cars because that's when before cruising was. Dude, we did a lot of dumb shit.
4 of us. And
the gas was like 99 cents, like a fucking gallon at that time. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, the funniest thing, the first time I drove by myself, my guy Ryan came through.
No,
that's not.
First time you drove by yourself, you trying to go to a girl house and everybody else was either busy or asleep. And yo ass.
Wait, talk to me. I don't remember this story.
Your baby mama.
Okay.
Stayed on a whole other side of town.
Yes.
You was trying to go over there in the middle of the night.
Really?
And everybody was either laid up with their chick or gone to work or sleep.
And then the light bulb goes off.
And
I have a car.
Got in your car and drove 2 miles an hour.
So everybody
down
sees
all the
you.
side streets.
Shout out to Dana Kappa. Yes.
Took all the side streets.
Yes.
To get there.
Oh my God. I remember this story. Okay. Never mind. So I did that. And actually that's how I learned how to drive. Because after I made it successfully, I was like, okay, next time I could go 10 miles an hour. And then before you know it, I'm going the speed limit. Like that's how I learned how to drive, bro. Like that's how. But before that, in between that time, my guy Ryan came through, and we were supposed to double date. And he came to the crib, and he had a decent car. He had a system and all of that. And he was like, we're going to our double date. We're going to like Six Flags or some shit. He was like, yo, let's drive your car. So just trail me to their house. I was like, bro, I can't drive. He's like, it's okay. Just follow me. What? It's okay. Just follow me. So I hop in the car and I'm like scared to touch the pedal. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it was wild. So like, that was one time where I was just completely thrown in the fire. I was like, fuck it. It is what it is. But like, yeah, dude, I don't know, dude. I think another thing too that we can talk about that like it was kind of I would call it, especially being a fan of like Jay-Z and Memphis Bleek, it was like our coming of age as kids. It was like we had all graduated high school. Some of us were going to college to play football. Other of us was just trying to figure it out. And it was like this real somber feeling. And it was like, I think that's what helps me relate to kids now. Because I work with kids like 18 and like 23. You can tell when a kid is like 18, but not ready. You know, they're not ready for the real world. They're not ready for the things that life has to throw at them. They're not afforded the luxuries anymore once they hit a certain age. And we went through that as a crew, man. And actually that changed our dynamic as a crew. We were playing pool. Because Shaw had a pool table in his garage. Like that was a hangout. So we were all playing pool. And that's the day that jumps out to me the most. We were just quiet.
That was the last day. Like I was leaving.
Yeah.
That next day. For football for tour that camp.
Yep. So it was crazy. It was like, I'm happy to see my brothers, but damn, it was like life as we know it will never fucking be the same, bro.
Man,
life as we know it will never be the same.
I almost didn't make it.
What you mean?
I almost failed my drug test.
Wait, so like me and Trip, we've been guys forever, ever. You've never told me this.
So remember, because like I turned 18 right before we left.
Yes.
Right. So remember Regina them threw me a birthday party.
Okay.
And I was hanging out with Henry before that.
Word.
And like I don't smoke weed. I'm not a weed smoker. Like this is like the one time I smoked weed.
Okay. This is funny, bro. This is funny.
I smoked weed with Henry, and that was the first mistake, you know, because he was with Henry.
Now I didn't hang with him outside of high school, but rumor had it like he was a real smoker for real.
Like yeah,
so like you went from like minor league to the pro.
Like it was like Friday. It was like the movie Friday. Like we was hanging out at his mom's house and like, cause you know like when we first all started hanging out, like that's who I hung out with.
Yep.
At first I was hanging out with Henry, like when we first started high school, and me and Henry would take these bus trips to like Chick's house and all kind of shit.
We're gonna talk about that on a different episode too.
My mama Cadillac and shit.
Yeah.
With the sunroof open, blasting Al Green like we was old and shit.
Yo, that worked back in the day. You in the old school bumping Al Green, fam? That worked.
So I'm at Henry House. We were upstairs, right? And Henry wasn't always the most legal individual.
That's putting it so nicely. Look at you, bro. You growing.
And it was me, Henry. It was like a couple of his brothers from his crew.
Where?
And then like his real brothers, and I think his sister.
Okay.
And Henry just pulls out like this massive amount of weed. And it was literally like, it's your birthday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got shit to do.
You finna get high today.
And like they proceeded to roll up like 8 blunts.
Jesus.
And there's only like 10 of us in the room. And they lit all 8. So like you was almost never without one in your hand.
Wow.
So I don't really know how to smoke weed, but I probably pulled the Bill Clinton.
I'm with you because I've been in so many sessions where I didn't smoke, but I didn't know what a contact high was.
And I think I had a contact high. I don't think I was really high.
Yeah.
I think I had a contact high, and then we went to Regina's house, and she had like coolers of liquor and shit.
So you got it in before you went to college, bro.
Yeah, but then I had to take a physical
the next day.
Like a couple days after that.
Okay.
And, part of the physical is like your urine test, and the doctor was like, it's like something's not right. He's like, but I don't know. He's like, maybe if you can come back in a couple of days and take it. We can see if anything changes. Otherwise, you're fine. So he didn't like not pass me, but
he didn't press it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like, yeah.
He's like, I took some penicillin. It was a penicillin.
And that was a weird ass night. Got drunk. Then we went out to this is when they still had the theater on Mill Road.
Oh my god. The Mill Road
Theater, and I think we might have ruined the movie for everybody because we was like loud and shit.
Oh, y'all was those people.
Movie. Yeah.
Oh, y'all was those niggas. Jeez.
Yeah, so like
wow. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Like and then fast forward all the way to like when we hit the hip hop scene in like 2008. Like even then people didn't quite understand our dynamic. I think we've mentioned it a little bit on this podcast before, and I've talked to, of course, my close friends about it. But like what we really did, we were very specific and intentional about how we approached the music scene because we had scoured the city and looked for the best place for us to promote our music and stuff of that sort. And like we were very strategic. Like it was our intentions. Trip was, he played the role of the asshole. He played the role of like at that point Dame Dash. Like we looked up to Rockefeller, so like we're like, okay. He was like, okay, speak. I'll be Dame Dash. You'll be Jay-Z, and this is how we'll promote the product. And for the Speakeasy brand, bro, like that shit worked wonders.
Yeah.
That shit worked wonders. I remember back when Sosei, shout out to Sosei, he was doing like the one shots and shit like that at Quarters. I remember it was one time, you know how they would have guest hosts for the guests and stuff like that. And like Trip was there. I was like, yeah. And then like that's when we were like, I was like, yeah. I was like, Trip's my manager. He's like, I'm not your fucking manager. You my manager, bro. Like you're my manager. Like so like that's how we went about the music scene, and it would be without Trip for sure. There's no way in hell the Speakeasy brand would have been what it became. I would have never fucking been on the radar of Unify Records if it was never for Trip to help me navigate through this music scene that we came through, and it was so crew heavy.
Man,
it was so this crew, that crew. You had Unify, you had the
but they was like huge crews.
You had the House of M, which was before they had been with Unify. You had shout out to UMG. You had all of these crews, and it was like I was like a solo act. Like Trip featured on like a song or two, but I was like a soloist. So he was like, "Fuck that shit. Let's just guerrilla this shit and push our way through, bro." So like, yeah, man. I mean. I think this was like a pretty cool way to kind of go down memory lane for people to understand like why we are who we are and why we connect the way that we do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like this episode is really just to kind of give you guys a little bit of insight on that. But before we conclude this next topic, dude, I don't know if we're gonna debate or agree. I have no fucking clue. But I want to just talk about the best hip hop family tree, like ever. Not like now, but ever. And the reason why I brought this up is because and I'm gonna kind of like give my answer away. But I remember having a debate with people on social media, on Facebook, like some years ago. The original debate was Wu-Tang versus NWA. Which group created the biggest impact? Or which group was the best? So I'm biased because I grew up on gangster music. Like I didn't start listening to like East Coast music until I was like, I don't know, like damn near grown. Like I grew up on gangster shit. So like it was NWA all day. I didn't know who the fuck De La Soul was. Tribe Called Quest, I only listened to it when I hung out with my friends. But in my fucking rotation, I listened to NWA, MC8, Scarface, E40, like that was the shit that I was listening to. And so I think by and large, when that argument, it seemed like I had lost that argument that Wu-Tang was the best group. And Wu-Tang was the best group because for one reason or the other. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'll even debate that. Because Wu-Tang had one good album. But I think they had some phenomenal... No, Wu-Tang wins that argument still because they had the one great album as a crew, but they have some fucking classics as solo artists. And the reality is, when it came to NWA, the only fucking classics came from Dre and Ice Cube. So
no fucking way.
All right, talk to me.
Like you just like threw out all the Eazy-E albums.
No, I love Eazy.
I love Eazy. This is Stick Up.
My name is Speak Easy for one reason. Like one reason.
I'm just saying, like you can't say like.
But this, like, okay, I'm gonna say the Speak Easy. Does Eazy-E have a classic album?
We Love Eazy. Eazy Does It.
Eazy Does It is a classic.
Yeah.
All right.
You think you can put it on around?
I mean, I can't. I love Eazy-E, but I'm very biased.
Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing. I'm
very biased when it comes to Eazy-E. Eazy-E's the reason why I fucking rap.
What classic? And I like Wu-Tang. Don't get me wrong. What classic does Wu-Tang have?
As a crew or individually?
It's a crew. Classic.
Their first album, Into the 36 Chambers.
What song?
Cream. I mean, any song from that album. A classic album means you can play that bitch from top to bottom.
I can't play that top to bottom.
I think that should okay, but I'm saying so. Let's take my personal preference out of it because I'm taking my personal preference out of it. By and large, maybe people in this region, when we have that debate, a lot of people feel that way. That Wu-Tang was the better group because their group produced more classic albums. So this is what I'll say. So you got Into the 36 Chambers classic. Tikal, a lot of people say classic. Raekwon shit. Raekwon with Ghost. Or is it the other way around? The fucking Iron Man joint. That was dope. I'm not a big ass Wu-Tang head. Deck had an album. That's not a classic though. But Ghostface alone is a fucking monster. So it's like when it comes to crews, the most consistent out of Wu-Tang was Ghostface. So to me, Ghostface and Ice Cube are like neck and neck. Okay. But I think Ice Cube has more cachet. So you don't think
Boys in the Hood is a classic?
NWA, yeah. They both, as a group, have one classic album. They both, as a group, have one classic album as a group. But then when you splice out solo albums, plus Wu-Tang has more members.
The Chronic?
Dre
Day?
No, Dre only has The Chronic and The Chronic 2001, and that's really it. So Chronic 2001 is not a classic.
What's the other one when Snoop made his debut?
Doggy Style?
No. It was another album. It was before Snoop dropped.
G Thing is on The Chronic.
No, before G Thing was Not the.
Oh my God! Yeah, and you don't stop because this one is that one you talking about? That's 187. That was on a movie soundtrack.
But it was all Dre shit.
Yeah, but I'm saying albums, like classic albums. So like
Doggy Style, because
so
Snoop is from that family tree.
So now we're going into the actual topic.
No, because
because I'm with you
because Snoop was there.
But Snoop was not a member of NWA. So this is what I mean when I say. But
that's not.
Wu-Tang has the best.
But that's not a fair comparison then.
So this is what I'm saying. So we have apples and oranges, right? The best crew overall, the best crew that produced the best albums from that, only the people inside of that crew, Wu-Tang wins. But when we go
by amount, you're gonna buy amount.
Yes,
like because they have
more amount of classic albums.
But they had like 20 fucking members.
That's fine. But when it comes to your point, when it comes to the best hip hop family tree, NWA wins by a long shot. Because outside of Wu-Tang, everybody else from Wu-Tang that's not an immediate member really didn't do shit. I don't give a fuck if you're a Wu-Tang fan.
When you talk Wu-Tang, man, I listen to Method Man.
Yep.
Maybe Ghost.
Yeah, I fucked with Ghost later on. I didn't understand him at first.
ODB.
You don't fuck with Raekwon?
No.
Really? Okay. So that's fine. But so this is why I feel, and you can throw in a different argument, but this is why the NWA family tree is the best family tree in hip hop. It starts with NWA, fucking classic group. From NWA, Ice Cube has his own classics. Dre has his own classics. Easy has his own classics. Easy discovers Bone Thugs. Dre discovers Snoop. Oh shit. Warren G. Bam. Oh shit. Nate Dogg. Bam. And then like Exhibit was part of Aftermath. Eminem is part of Aftermath. 50 Cent is part of Aftermath. TDE is part of Aftermath. Or part of the NWA family tree. Fucking Griselda is part of the NWA family tree. When it comes to Wu-Tang, you got all 30 members. And then who outside of Meth, Ghost, and Ray? Because I was a fan of RZA, but RZA's albums were ass. Like, who outside of Meth, Ghost, and Ray has made an impact as part of the NWA family tree? Shaheem? Like, no. So, like, the NWA family tree is so...
names from?
It was like the whole Kung Fu shit.
Well, where'd Capadonna come from?
I don't know, but I've always felt Capadonna was so whack. Capadonna's never been
that was like
MC.
a big ass fucking letdown.
He was never a good MC.
I just thought like the way they pubbed him, like he was gonna be nice, and that album dropped.
Yeah, because he was in jail or some shit. And he came out of jail. And I was like, "Who is this?" I'm like, "He fucked up the group, bro."
I bought it, and that kind of like sealed the fate. Like
the only line Capadonna ever had was "Knee along in the cherry thong with the lights on." Was that Capadonna? I don't know. But like that was it. So like, but when it comes to the family tree, fam, like I mean, it's just Anderson .Paak is part of the NWA family tree. Like, I mean, they are unprecedented because, you know, Def Jam is looked at as like the house that hip hop built. But NWA continues to fucking thrive, bro. Like, they continue to have all these dope ass artists that come from their lineage that Wu-Tang can't say the same thing. And I'm like, so we can say, like, okay, so let's just.
But you know what? And, like, be honest on why. Like NWA and motherfuckers was not getting their props when the argument started.
Okay, is
because at that point, like motherfuckers in New York or on the East Coast did not want to give up ownership or share the limelight of hip hop with anybody on the West Coast. Like,
yeah, man.
They didn't feel like motherfuckers on the West Coast should be rapping.
Yeah.
And then when motherfuckers on the West Coast started rapping about what they was rapping about, which was what they saw in everyday life, they thought they was full of shit.
Speaking of, I didn't even mention the fucking Dog Pound.
DPG.
You know what I'm saying? And then fucking Corrupt had at least one classic album. Like, I mean, their family tree is the thickest. And if you want to debate us, you can hit us up. You know what I'm saying? On IG, the Melodrama Podcast. You can hit us up on Facebook, the Melodrama Podcast, to debate this. But I think hands down, NWA has the best hip hop family tree. Because even when you go to Def Jam is a
It's a label.
Def Jam is a label. So like it's an entity like Universal. So like everybody from Def Jam isn't part of the Run DMC family tree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, 50 Cent is part of the fucking family tree. So then you got Lloyd Banks and now all these niggas is NWA family tree. 50 just got a fucking star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. How many Wu-Tang members are on the Hollywood Hollywood Walk of Fame? 0.
So who's the best duo?
The best duo?
Yeah.
Of all time?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'm kind of biased, so I don't know that this is going to be accurate, but I'm going to say Jesus.
Like, I'm always torn because
my first, so just my gut reaction as soon as you said that, the first thing that jumped out of my head was EPMD.
See, I'm always
just
torn.
Off top.
I'm always torn between Tribe and Outkast.
See, but Tribe isn't a duo.
How come they not?
Because they had Jerobi. Tribe had at least 3 members. Tribe had 3 members. They're not a duo.
Spit a Jerobi verse.
Nigga, I don't know.
Exactly.
So for example, even with Little Brother, they can't count because they had
got a DJ?
Ninth. No, that Ninth was a producer. He was a beat maker.
But he wasn't rapping.
But when we received the Little Brother package, how did we receive it? It was Pooh, Ninth, Fonte. That's how we received that package. That's how it was promoted. When we received Tribe, we did not get Tip and Fife. We got all of them niggas.
EPMD didn't have a producer besides Eric Sermon?
No. Eric Sermon did it all. I mean, if that's the case, Eric B and Rakim was a duo. And fucking Rakim made all the fucking beats. Eric B didn't do shit but do cuts.
You saying that though?
I'm just telling you, it's a duo.
So Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince was a duo?
They're a duo. Nigga, Hall & Oates. Hall & Oates is a duo. So Mobb Deep comes up in my head. I'm like, I still go back to when you gave me Shook Ones.
Oh man.
We were at school and you were like, what the fuck are you listening to? I was like, I'm listening to this shit. You like, listen to this shit right here.
Man.
And when I heard Shook Ones, I was like, what the fuck is this? That there was crazy. But like, okay, so Outkast. Outkast is up there. So I think if I take my personal bias away, because I'm a big fan of Eric Sermon. I'm a big fan of Eric Sermon.
And don't get me wrong, because I grew up with EPMD, listening to EPMD and the whole Jane series.
Mm-hmm.
Smells like lobster, tuna of the sea.
Yeah.
But it ain't worse catching the A, the I, D to the S. Yes. Yeah, I grew up on EPMD.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I had the cassette tape. Fuck. Walkman and shit.
So I think if I'm being logical and not emotional,
but you know what? I think
I would have to give it to Outkast. I don't think there's a better duo than Outkast.
The problem for me is like when I think EPMD, and I know like their earlier shit was just EP, it was just the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I always start to lump in because the later shit always started to incorporate Redman, Keith Murray.
No, see, that was Def Squad and Hit Squad.
I know, but I always lump that in with EPMD.
Yeah.
Because even though that was Def Squad and Hit Squad, towards the end, those were always featured
and
on the
actually,
EPMD
even
albums.
before Redman and Keith Murray, they had K Solo.
Yeah,
they had K Solo. So I mean, but the overall group itself was definitely was EPMD, but then they branched off. If I'm being most logical in my most logical self, I would have to say Outkast is the greatest hip hop duo of all time. They're just fucking better than everybody. They're just better than everybody.
The whatchamacallit, how that shit happened with them?
What?
We were watching the evolution of hip hop.
I haven't watched that yet.
To that part for them?
No, but I did watch a few years ago. It was a whole story about the Dungeon family, and I don't know which platform this was on, but it was only about the Dungeon family.
Yeah, it's funny though because they said like, whatchamacallit, them had moved to Atlanta to LaFace, them moved to Atlanta to find acts or whatever.
Yeah.
And they had ran into T-Boz.
Mm-hmm.
And T-Boz introduced them, if I'm getting it right, to the Dungeon family. So like it was like Sleepy was already there and shit like that. So they had beat makers.
Yeah, they had a whole production crew.
Right,
yeah.
But they didn't have
no MCs.
They didn't have those two for MCs. Somebody was like, well, I think T-Boz was like, well, I know these two dudes.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, well, I know these two dudes or something. But it was like these dudes, they got off the bus. It's like country as fuck. Like they got off the bus and like cut off shorts and
man.
thermal shirts and shit.
Yeah.
And like they was like just started rapping and it's like the motherfuckers just rapped forever. Just going back and forth playing off of each other.
Yeah, dude. I would say
then here's the funny part is like, so then they get the deal or whatever. Mm-hmm. And their first song was supposed to be a Christmas song.
Yes. Dude, so I have to go back and watch the evolution of hip hop. I've been saying I'm gonna check that out. I haven't checked it out yet.
And it was like, dude, they finna fucking ruin our career. And these motherfuckers came out with Southern Playalistic.
Dude,
Cadillac, and that was
when you
Christmas
listen to
song.
So I had heard that song. I had heard that story before that. When you go to the Dungeon Family documentary, it talks about that as well, and I think they highlight it a little bit better. Also, if you haven't checked out the Andre 3000 interview with Rick Rubin, please check that out as well. But after hearing it over and over again, that song just hits different, bro. That song just hits different because when it comes to being a hip hop artist and actually being a successful one, you know that there's a part of the game that you had to commercialize your art form to make it to a certain level. And as somebody who I can always say that like maybe the Speakeasy star didn't ascend as far because I never wanted to compromise my art. So when artists find a way to meet the agenda of what's required of them and still stay true to themselves, that shit is masterful. And like now, every time I hear that song, dude, I'm like, fucking salute.
Fucking Christmas song.
To Outkast, bro. And you can hear the fucking jingles in the song. I'm like, idiot. It was there the whole time. But we was like, what? And it starts, like, what? It's 16, beginning to look 17? A lot like what? Follow my every... It's beginning to look a lot like... I'm like, dude, come on. Mm-hmm. The way they flip that shit, bro, like... To me, this is why they are the greatest hip-hop duo of all time. And honestly, I don't think anybody's close to them, bro. And if we... Another podcast, what we'll really, really go further to do is talk about how... we'll save this for another podcast, but how New York hip-hop has lost its identity over 20 years ago and ain't been back since. Thank God for Griselda. Because if it wasn't for Griselda, nobody would know what the fuck New York hip hop even feels like anymore.
I think,
I
think that was self-sabotage though, because they didn't want it to grow. So I think like they didn't want it to grow. They didn't want it to change. And you always got the people, and nothing against like the underground or the purists. Mm-hmm. The purists always wanted it to be a certain way and not be anything else. And I think that's kind of self-sabotage because you didn't want it to grow, so you kind of like stunted the
I don't
growth.
know. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't necessarily agree with that.
The thing is that, and when you sit back and you look and you watch how like, and when you finish watching it and they show like how like all this growth and expansion was happening at the same time in different areas of the world, mm-hmm. that like to not want hip hop to grow, mm-hmm. it's like stunting your growth. So, not saying that I don't know if I say they lost their identity, but I think they tried to keep a foothold on it, and now like, you can't because something had to expand.
Yeah, I think honestly, this
because I mean, you still got dope people, coming out of New York. Like you still got the Fat Joe who is getting better.
But aside from the OGs, it ain't nobody but Griselda. It ain't no hip hop artist over 25 years old that matter at all from New York.
Because I don't think they're staying in New York.
If it ain't from Griselda. But that's my point.
I don't think because the thing is
But back in the day, you went to New York to get on.
Right.
That's what I mean. So like, so let's just call it what it is. So maybe we won't fuck it. Let's not save it for another podcast. The reality is the South has been running hip hop for like 30 years at least.
But that's because they refused.
Like the South is the fucking king of hip hop, and it has been the king of hip hop since like the late 90s. And it's fucking 2020, bro.
Because they refused to do it the way that everybody said you had to.
Yeah,
and they came in and they was like, we're just gonna do it our fucking way. Like, and that's why you had like the whole bounce tracks. And like you had the whole bounce tracks coming out of New Orleans and from the South. Like every fucking song had the same beat.
And on top of that too, though.
And then you got Percy Miller who comes out of nowhere is like, you know what?
But everybody from the South don't sound the same though, and that's where New York got it fucked up. It's like, okay, you got the OGs in the game that you cannot dispute them. We just talked about 50. 50 is and like his magnificence, like. He wanted to put himself on the playing field as Jay and Puff, and he's the only artist after them to get that close. It took Nas a minute to get where he is.
A lot of people didn't want to fuck with Fifth after he got shot because they just felt like it was just too much drama.
I heard a lot of shit about that, and I'm not sure what's true. I'm not sure what's not true. But I heard some shit about the motherfuckers that wanted to kill him was like, if you sign him, it's gonna be a problem for you. That's why labels weren't signing him at first.
No, they.
Like that's why I mean,
like Fifth, like they're saying like he was really out there doing the shit, but he made, and I guess if you watch the movie Get Rich or Die Trying, he really did make his mark with the mixtape game.
Yeah.
But in that mixtape game, he was like literally like putting people's shit in the street.
Yeah.
But then he got shot and like motherfuckers really didn't want to fuck with him. Cause I think Fat Joe knew about him before a lot of other motherfuckers knew about him.
Yeah, Fat Joe knew about a lot of motherfuckers that he didn't sign. Fat Joe knew about Eminem and he didn't sign Eminem. But like, I mean, he's not the greatest exec. Well, he's not. He had Remy, he had Pun, and after that, it goes downhill. It just does.
I'm not, but you know what?
It just does. Like he outside of Pun and Rem.
I'm not, but I'm not gonna say that he made bad decisions by not signing certain people, because if he signs 50, you don't get the same 50.
I disagree.
You're not gonna, because the song that put 50 really out there in the limelight was the go. It's your birthday. Right. You don't get that song without Dre.
Yeah, okay. So that's something to be said about the magnificence of Dr. Dre. Because both of these artists end up signing with Dre.
Because before he signed with Dre, 50 did the How to Rob an Industry Cat.
Yeah.
And unless you like a real hip hop dude and you was like really into the Into Deep soundtrack or whatever, like you really didn't pay attention to that.
But who knows what would happen if Jam Master Jay wasn't killed? We don't know. Because Jam Master Jay was fucking with him before everybody was. So who knows? We don't know. I mean, we can play what if, but I'm saying you would have got a version of 50, but you wouldn't have got this version. We wouldn't be sitting up watching. Motherfuckers wouldn't be sitting up watching Power, waiting to see who shot Ghost for the last 8 weeks. I'm dead. No, I definitely feel you. But I think at the end of the day, man, when it comes to best hip hop family tree, I think by and large it's NWA by a long shot. I mean, they have multiple artists on their label that have Eminem has gone diamond. Like, I don't know if 50 has gotten close to diamond. I don't know if he's going diamond, but like, I mean, just those two alone, and then all the different, the Eazy-E family tree and all this other shit. Like, so yeah, I think for sure that NWA is the best hip hop family tree. If you think something different, and you know what I'm saying, like definitely hit us up. You know, like I said on our socials, but like,
watch somebody hit us up with somebody we never heard of. Shit.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to hear about Violator. I'm sorry. Don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, fam. Like, I don't. Like, I don't want to hear about motherfucking
Wait, who was all on Violator?
Violator had a nice little run, but Violator was a management group. So they managed Q-Tip. They managed Busta. They managed, like, some other motherfuckers. But, like, Violator, Loud, like, I mean...
Didn't whatchamacallit have something to do with Violator? Queen Latifah? No, she had that flavor unit shit.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. But before we depart, Trip, what do you have any closing remarks for the beautiful people?
Nah, man. I'm drawing a blank. I don't know.
That's great. That's great. That was deep, y'all. Like, if you know, you know.
Check us out. YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, iHeartRadio,
Apple, anywhere you get your motherfucking podcast, man. Just check us out. Parting words. What I'll use this opportunity as a shameless plug. Go to fucking Spotify or anywhere else you listen to music and check my new song. It's called Feel Something. It's written by me. It's produced by me. And just me doing my shit. Like, I'm in a place right now with music where I can just do whatever the fuck I want, and it just, if it feels right, I do it. There's no pressure. And to really keep the pressure going in 2020, like, I'll probably be releasing like another single probably within another few weeks. Just because I fucking love hip hop, bro. Like, I'm not chasing the numbers, I'm not chasing the metrics. I'm not looking to be signed. I'm like, fucking, like I always say in our description, we are the fucking movement. And that's what we do as a Melodrama podcast. So we're just going to keep that shit pushing, man. So this has been episode 15. Shout out to Freshly Broken, Unified Records, and all of that shit. Until next time, y'all. Peace. Nice. That was good, dude. We got over a fucking hour and 2 fucking topics.